Welcome to TNT Takes. This is all about week 9, a little bit about week 8. We'll just go over some of our predictions again. Haven't had a football one in a while, so got a lot to talk about relating to the Eagles and Chiefs. Let's get right into it. And welcome back. I'm Tyler Schoonover along with Jay Sizemore. Like always, we are going to go over a little bit of football. Did you want to start with the Chiefs and their struggles, and then I'll get into the Eagles. The Chiefs are a little bit more surprising.
Yeah,
I think
it's
were.
been rough.
I think our last one was after their first loss, or maybe their second loss. I don't.
Yeah.
It was pretty early on. I think it was after week 4 when we did our last one.
Well,
so it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just talk recent. We'll talk recent. Go ahead.
Right now we're sitting 4-4. Game wasn't great against the Giants. There were still mess ups like turnovers and blown coverages. Daniel Sorensen. There are only 2 touchdowns were against the 2 guys I hate, Sorensen and Neiman, the 2 worst dudes on our freaking defense. But the pass rush looked better. And then we just went out and got Melvin Ingram, which is going to help out a lot because it moves Chris Jones back to defense tackle, where he tore it up when he was at defense tackle. But other than that, Mahomes hasn't looked like himself all year. Hopefully he picks it up this Sunday without Rodgers. It's got to be a big win. We have to win this game.
Yeah, I think it'll be a big game.
A big momentum boost for us going into the Raiders game the following week.
We'll talk about our prediction about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin the surprise, but
we already know what you're doing.
So I got a question for you. This is what they brought up on First Take. I think it was yesterday morning. They said, "Have we seen the best of Patrick Mahomes?"
No.
You don't think so?
I think this year, like a lot of quarterbacks had like that sophomore slump year where like they just play awful, and I think this will be his worst year so far. And I think it just not hit him. So he's still trying to make those big plays like he did his rookie year and everything to make the 40, 50-yard passes down the field instead of just dumping down. Like Brady started such a long career because he realized he's not going to make a deep throw, and he did the slants, he did the quick posts, he did all that stuff. Mahomes still said he doesn't like doing that. He wants to go for the big play, which against the Giants, you saw him dumping down a lot. Darrell Williams got a lot of touches. Tyreek Hill got a lot of touches. He got 18 targets for only 94 yards with 13 catches. But I think if we start doing that more, dumping it down, get the short yards, run the ball more. Derek Gore looked good. Darrell Williams looked good. If we do that, the safeties are going to come in. Hill and Hardman are going to be open over the top. And I wish Reed would actually realize that and do one game. Let the running back carry the game. Don't let Mahomes do it all. Because he looks like he's running for his life right now, and it's stupid because our offensive line's a lot better than last year.
If Andy Reid's going to do that, then he needs to let me know so I can throw Darrell Williams in the lineup. Right? But I'm going to agree with Stephen A. on this one. I think that we have seen the best. I'm not saying that he's done and that he's not going to get better from today. And I think that he can reach his best again. But I think it's hard to beat that 50 whatever touchdowns he had and back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. And I'm strictly talking about his play. Like he played at the best level we have ever seen, like almost any quarterback ever play.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that he's not going to ever get to that level again. I still think he has the capability of being the best quarterback in the league and being one of the best that we've ever seen. But I think it's hard to be better than that. And I think that he can keep that pace for, he's only 25, 26, whatever he is.
Yeah.
Give him another, 10 years. I mean, I think he can be that good for 10 more years. So I mean, we're going to see the best. We're going to continue to see the best of Patrick Mahomes. But I don't know if it gets better than that.
I think that
he's had such a good career to start out that it's hard to get better than that and eclipse that. But I think that he can continue to be on pace with that for a while. And I think even come playoff time, they're going to be still a really tough team to knock out, especially if they have to come in as a wild card team.
That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, that would suck to be one of those teams that have to play them in their first matchup. But like I predicted before the season, I still don't have them making it to the Super Bowl. So I'm going to have to say that for now, that prediction looks pretty smart.
Mhm.
But you never know. Like playoffs, if they do end up pushing their way in, it could go to them still. I just think that they are going to be. It's going to be tough for them to defeat one of those top teams.
Right now, the AFC is so open, it's hard to say. There's a lot of good teams. I'm still always going to roll with the Chiefs, but there's a lot of good teams I could see going many other ways for a Super Bowl matchup this year.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the 3-5 Philadelphia Eagles. All we've done since we talked is still been reluctant to run the ball, except last week. It was really nice to see 46 touches. But we traded Joe Flacco and Zach Ertz. I think we're more looking for the offseason, the draft. We're looking at stuff like that right now. I think we understand that this team isn't a playoff caliber team, even though they still have the shot of making the playoffs. I'll talk about that in a second. But I think we understand that even if they do make the playoffs, they're not going far. We need to look into, rebuilding this offseason, finding pieces that we need. But Hurts is still hasn't proven to be the answer, but he hasn't proven not to be either.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm kind of afraid of. That we go 17 games and he's like, he's good at times.
He's decent, but then,
Like if we lose him and somebody picks him up, he could end up being a really good quarterback, or if we keep him, he could end up being a really bad quarterback. So it's really hard to know if he's.
It's kind of like that Tannehill situation when he was in the Dolphins and went to the Titans.
Yeah, but Tannehill.
But he had some decent games for the Dolphins.
Yeah,
so maybe he's it, maybe he's not.
And he had so many years with the Dolphins. Like he had like 5 or 6 years where they're like, okay, it's not getting any better. Hurts, it's just hard to make or break him after this season. I think it's going to be a little tougher, and I'm hoping that he can prove to be that guy throughout the year. He's still got, 9 games left.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to also say if it's him or the play calling. The play calling has been really rough. Before last week, he was at like 84% of the plays were on him to either pass or he was running. And that's even more than Lamar Jackson. And then that's a crazy amount of pressure to put on a second-year guy who can't throw the ball very well. He's still struggling with his accuracy. You got to take the pressure off him by handing it off a lot more than they do. Yep. There's also been questions about the defensive coordinator when, you're giving up 40 points to every team. Derek Carr looks like freaking the best quarterback to ever walk the earth when he plays us. Yeah. And if it's because we're running this cover 2 all the time, worried about the deep ball, and they just can check down all day long. And it's really tough for us to recover from that if we're as an offense, especially when, you're playing from a deficit. He's got to throw all game.
Yeah.
And so it's just hard to know if it's the coaches that are the problem or if Hurts is the problem, but still Hurts has missed open guys. I think it's a mixture of both, but I think it's a lot to do with the play calling and the coaches. But the Lions game was great. We demolished a bad team. We ran the ball a ton.
Jordan Howard looked good. I know it was Lions, but Jordan Howard still looked like he had a little bit left in the tank for a goal line bag.
I like Boston Scott, too. I do like Boston Scott. I think that he should be the lead back without Miles Sanders in there. And then him and Gainwell kind of switch off and on. Maybe Jordan Howard when we need a couple of yards because he's a big guy. He can kind of just burst through. But yeah, that game against the Lions, a lot of people had the Lions winning because the Lions played. Well, honestly, I was kind of questioning it too. If we would have done a pod, I might have gone Detroit. I wasn't sure. It's hard to put your money on an 0-17 though, so I probably would have stuck with Philly. But they played the Ravens close. They played the Vikings pretty close. They played the Niners close. Even the Rams they hung around with until like late in the fourth quarter. The Lions were looking like a team that doesn't give up. And in the past few weeks with the Eagles playing, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, it just looked like we give up really easily and we don't play hard. Of course the Chiefs game was kind of good because we didn't have to punt. The Chiefs defense was pretty bad. But they were playing really good football, at least putting their all into every game, and then we go out and blow them out 44-6. So that was kind of surprising. But lots of people were expecting the Lions to have their best chance to get a win like this week. Shut that shit down. But it was also good. You can't say that it was just a bad team either. Our play calling was completely different.
Yeah.
Our defensive system was completely different. We actually blitzed them. We had like 5 sacks. This guy never blitzes, Jonathan Gannon. He hardly ever blitzes. I've seen him blitz like very few each game. And then we also, I mean, we ran the fucking ball 46 times. That we're never
Yeah,
gonna, we won't
that
run the ball
hasn't happened
46
all year,
times.
so it's weird.
No, we won't run the ball 46 times probably ever again. But we
hmm
will. We need to get that incorporated into the offense. We really do.
I think for Hurts, it's like how I was saying about Josh Fields, and Justin Fields. I think that they do it kind of like what Kyler Murray did when he first came in. He was looking to be a good quarterback, but they relied on the run game. They relied on the quick passes. They did what he did in college. They didn't make everything about him. They didn't do a whole bunch of RPOs and read options. They did it occasionally, but they let him be him. They let him run around the behind the line of scrimmage. They didn't
I
make him
think
be a pocket-style quarterback. And I think that this coordinator is trying to make him do stuff that he's not comfortable with right now. I think if
yeah,
you give him a couple years with it, then yeah. But I watched one game a couple weeks ago, and on 2 drives straight, they didn't no huddle. Just let him do what he did at Oklahoma, and he tore up the field. He was marching down with ease. But then they made him later on be pocket style quarterback, wait, look around, and like that's not him. He let him be the quarterback he's going to be.
yeah, I think we're running a Indianapolis style offense because head coach Nick Sirianni is the one calling the plays, and that's where he came from. And then we just throw in a few RPOs, and it's like, oh, this is going to be Hurts offense because we got some RPOs in there. And you're like, no, you got to center it around his game. You can't just
Yeah,
make it, what you're accustomed to. You got to make it more accustomed to the quarterback than you as a coach.
exactly.
But yeah, but with all that said, the Eagles do have a chance at the playoffs. We are 3-5 with 9 games left, and those games come against some winnable teams, a lot of winnable teams. I mean, we got the Chargers, Broncos, and Saints as our next 3 games. So those could go either way. I'm predicting probably 1-2. We'll probably lose 2 and win one of those 3. I'm thinking we can probably beat the Broncos or Chargers with the way Chargers have been playing lately.
See, I'm the opposite. I think you guys lose the Chargers, but you beat the Saints and Broncos. Without
You think we
Jameis,
go?
you don't. I
You
don't.
think we go 2-1?
I think you guys go 2-1 the next 3. I think your
Okay, I mean,
toughest matchup, I can go either way, is actually the Broncos game.
okay. So the toughest matchup is the Broncos, but we're losing the Chargers game, or you think we're winning the Chargers game?
I think like I can go wishy-washy for the Broncos Eagles. Like the toughest game for you guys is gonna be the Chargers. I
Okay.
think that Herbert's gonna torch the defense and put up big numbers.
Yeah, we'll see. I know that lately he's been struggling. Their line has been struggling, so we'll see what happens. I'm actually gonna end up. Yeah, we'll make our predictions later. But so I mean, let's just say we go 1-2 though out of those. That puts us at 4-7. Then we got the Giants, Jets, football team, Giants, football team, and that right there is what 6 games of
That should be 6
that.
wins right there.
That could be 6 wins right there, or 5 wins. My fault, because it's Giants, Jets,
Yeah.
Washington, Giants, Washington. That's 5. I mean, and if we win all 5 of those, we're 9-7. That's what we predicted us to be. Me and you, we predicted us to get 8 or 9 wins. And so it's basically going to plan or what we expected this season to be. We got Dallas as our last game, and by that time they could be resting players. We could be fighting for
Yep.
a wild card, so we could end up being 10-7 or 9-8, like we were hoping for and assuming. And I think that that's pretty solid. I mean that could be a playoff team, could not be. I don't really care at that point, but at least
Still, no matter
we
what, it's a
are
jump
fighting.
compared to what last year was.
It is a jump, and hopefully if we do end up winning, 7 of our next 9, we could be. I mean, Jalen Hurts could be that answer.
hmm
He could prove something, and I'm hoping he does with these easy-ish wins, easy-ish schedule. So, because of course you're going to look bad against Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes, Derek Carr, even. I mean, so I understand. We kind of predicted those would be losses. I think the Niners game could end up hurting us later on because we had a chance to really win that game, and
I wish you guys would have won that game. That was one game out of all of them. I was like, man, that's one they should have just snagged.
should have won. We really should have, but you can't do anything about it. So yeah, I think that there is a case to be made that we have a chance to make the playoffs. Not that we're going to go far. We'll probably lose the wild card game, but it's still
shows improvement. What you guys do?
Yeah, with all these young guys, get them in those high pressure situations, get them in the playoffs, get them a chance to get their feet wet a little bit, and we could build on that for next year, especially with 2 possible, maybe, I mean, if we make the playoffs, it won't be 3, but 2 possible top 10 picks. Or, I mean, we'll have 3 first-round picks no matter what if Wentz stays healthy for about 3 more games, which I should knock on wood on that one because you never know. But right now, exactly, right now he's looking like he's going to play at least 75% of their snaps for the rest of the season, and remain the starter. So.
Watch come down to one game and like they're already like gonna be playoffs and they set him just to not give up that draft pick.
Well, yeah, it could come down to it if he ends up getting hurt and missing a few, but I
Yeah.
don't see him missing any. Hopefully, he's kind of a dumbass and he might run into some concussions or something. But yeah, so we'll see there. And then we also have Miami's, who was looking like a steal of a trade there.
Which trip was
Yeah,
that one?
that was for the draft. They got our sixth pick, I think,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
draft, and we moved down to 10 and got Devontae Smith. So
Which, yeah, still didn't
and
make
we're
sense.
gonna
They could have snagged a
exactly.
good receiver at 10.
Yeah, they had to go with Waddle, which I was like, I mean, you could get Smith at 10,
Yeah.
but that's a decision they made, and we are going to get a first round, maybe top 10 pick next year. So yeah, that's
Oh,
enough
for
of the
sure,
Eagles.
top 10 pick.
Yeah, they're looking they're looking rough. I think they know Tua's not the answer.
They're still saying he is, but they're going to. They don't want to screw him the rest of the year.
So yeah, wait until Deshaun Watson's cleared and everything's good.
Yep.
I'm going to be fighting for that one.
5 seconds in, Deshaun Watson's a Miami Dolphin.
Yep. So we can move on to the power rankings. I'm sure ours will look a little bit different. It was
I'll
a
let
little
you go
tough.
first on this one.
It was tough. You want to do what? You want us to just go back and forth here?
Yeah, we're doing 5 or 10.
I got all 32 teams ranked here, pal.
You got all 32. Good Lord. All right.
Yeah, wait, no, I'm just gonna. We can do 10, but I just
Nope.
know that you're not gonna be happy with those 10. So number one, I got the Green Bay Packers.
See, right now I have Packers as 1.
I think that when Aaron Rodgers is healthy, they're the best team in the NFL as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
They just knocked off the undefeated Cardinals, who I have at number 2.
Yep. I have the Cardinals at 2 as well.
I got the LA Rams coming in at 3.
Yep.
Got the Buffalo Bills at 4.
See, this is actually where I have the Cowboys.
You got
I have the Cowboys at 4. Even though they're one loss against the Bucks, they played really good this year, which is shocking.
They have. Who do you have at 5?
5, I have the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, that's where I have the Bucks because I still have the Bucks better than the Cowboys right now, and then I have the Cowboys at 6, and then so
6, I have the Bucks.
Okay, 7. I went with the Tennessee Titans.
See, 7 right now I want the Ravens.
Okay, eighth Ravens for me. I think Ravens are good too. It's just I think it was last week, right? They kind of underperformed a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And 8, I know that
but the Titans will drop without Derrick Henry. So I mean,
I don't know. We don't. Let's see what Adrian Peterson does.
We'll see, but I have them probably on their way down.
But so 8 right now, I actually have the Bengals.
Okay.
I get they have a lesser record than the Titans, but I still like the way they're playing a little more than the Titans are right now. At 9, I got the Titans.
I have the Bengals at 9. I have the Bengals at 9. And then so number 10, this is where it got real tough because I'm sure this is where you put your Kansas City Chiefs. No, you don't have them in the top 10. Good, no. Good. Then you're not being
not being biased. I'm not being biased.
So I have the Raiders.
My number 10 is the Raiders. My number
Raiders
10
is in at 10. Okay, so we're pretty similar. If you had to throw the Chiefs, where do you have them? Do you have them at 11 or 12 or lower?
Right now, I have them about 13.
Yeah, I have them at 12 because I have them above the Browns and the Chargers.
Wait, no, I have them at 12. I might have them at 12 because at 13 I have the Chargers.
Me too. I have 11 as the Saints.
My 11 is the Saints, and my 14 is the Patriots.
I have the Patriots pretty low just because I think that I have them at 16, but I have the Browns in at 14 for now. I don't have any trust in Baker, but their record still shows they have good players. That you have to predict that they're better than the Steelers and the Vikings, who just suck. The Vikings should be better.
The Vikings have, in my opinion, the best offensive weapons in the NFL.
They should be
Thielen, Jefferson, and Dalvin Cook.
Is it a Kirk Cousins problem or a coach problem?
It's 100% coach problem. Kirk Cousins can be an answer to get you to a chance to contend in the playoffs. Kirk Cousins isn't a bad quarterback.
No, I don't think so either. I think that it's got to be something wrong with play calling or something going on because it's not their weapons. And tough question here. Who you got at 32?
32 right now. Right now, I'm not gonna lie. 32, I have right now the Dolphins. I get the Lions have been playing 0-7, but they've played harder as a team than the Dolphins have this whole season. I'll give them that over the Dolphins. They should have been a lot better than 1-7 right now.
maybe if the Lions didn't just lose 44-6.
Okay, yeah, I'm not counting. Yeah, I get that, but then they played hard against so many hard teams.
They have played well most of the year. I mean that game just kind of threw them to the bottom for me.
That's the only reason I have above it, and I don't like Tua, so I'm putting Dolphins are last. I don't like Tua.
Do you think the Lions get a win this year?
I think they do. I actually think they do. I think they sneak one out sometime. They have to. They can't get over.
Yeah, I think DeAndre Swift's, a good option that they have, but Jared Goff.
But Goff is awful. Their receivers are awful.
Yeah, they got Hawkinson.
You're going to see this weekend the Texans torch the Dolphins. Tyrod Taylor's back.
We'll see about that one. But we'll get into one more little topic here. We kind of brought up the Browns for a second. What do you think about Odell Beckham? Do you think that it's a Odell problem or a Baker problem?
Oh God, no, it's a Baker problem.
I've seen a lot of videos of him missing him wide open. Lots of.
But I've seen videos of Odell not giving 100%. I have seen this. I think it's after frustration that you're not getting the ball when you're open. He was a top 10 receiver easily
when he first got there. When he first got to Cleveland.
Once he tore his ACL, that's when it went downhill.
Yeah, I wouldn't even probably put him in the top 20 right now.
I couldn't even think right now where I'd put him.
Yeah, exactly.
I can say the same thing about Julio Jones.
Yeah, exactly. That was going to be my player comparison this week was Odell or Julio. Which one are you taking? I mean, I'm probably taking Julio, but
right now I'm taking Odell. He's younger. Julio, I think, might be on the decline. Like, I don't want to say that because I love Julio Jones, one of my favorite receivers, but man, it's tough.
I don't see Odell being a top 10 wide receiver ever again.
No, I can see him being a good number 2 target for a lot of teams.
Yeah, I could see him joining a playoff team.
I think if he went to the Packers, realistically, if he went to the Packers or Raiders, he's going to have a really good end of the year.
I'm not saying that he's identical to this player, but I could see it being like a Antonio Brown situation where Antonio Brown got to Tom Brady, and then all of a sudden he could, But he was a little different. He didn't ever really play bad. He just couldn't find a team that would.
He didn't play great. He didn't play great. When he first stint with the Patriots, he didn't play that great.
He only had 3 games.
Yeah, he wasn't playing that good. He wasn't hustling. And the same thing with the Raiders. But I think he won out the Raiders on purpose.
Yeah, maybe. But he didn't get to play with the Raiders at all. And then even with the Patriots, he played a few games, and they had to go over his assault issues, and he got kicked off of that team. So I think it was more of issues outside the field that hurt him. Odell's is more of a haven't seen him do much on the field in a while. So
the sorry quarterback he's got.
Maybe it is. But yeah, so let's go on to our predictions. So our record so far has been pretty even, like every week. We missed 1 week. We missed week 7. So our totals are just off by 1 week. But I am overall 68-41, and you're 66-43. So there's 2 game difference, which I think you have a chance of making up this week because I got 2 predictions that I know you don't have. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But we'll start with the Chiefs and Packers. This is one of them that I know you don't have.
See, the sad part is, if Rodgers was healthy, I was picking the Packers.
But yeah, for sure.
Chiefs.
Without him, I think Jordan Love is going to surprise some people. I really do. I do. I think Jordan Love is going to be a little surprising.
That is all hatred right there.
I don't think so. That defense is so bad that I think that, and plus with the Chiefs, you're going to have to keep up with them scoring, depending on how. I mean, they haven't scored very well in a few weeks, but that's what I'm saying. You're going to have to keep up with their scoring. The Packers are going to have to keep up with the Chiefs scoring. And so I think that's going to be a little bit more passing than people are assuming from Jordan Love. Because they're predicting it's going to be a Aaron Jones game, which it might be with checkdowns and stuff, but I don't think it's going to be a run the ball, even though your run defense isn't great either. But
I think that right now is better than our pass defense.
Yes, it is. That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be, we're going to need to throw here. We're going to need to throw. So I think
we're supposed to throw Ingram in. Ingram's supposed to play this week. I think if we do that, and Frank Clark's healthy, he played a great game last week. Chris Jones is healthy. I think it could be a really bad havoc for Love if our defensive line gets pressure like they're supposed to. I think that's a big reason why our safeties and corners are getting screwed right now is because we have 12 sacks. That's like
Yeah.
almost dead last in the league. I think we're in the bottom 10% of the league.
It's tough to win games when you can't put pressure on the quarterback. It really is.
Yeah, those corners are in
And-
an island right now. Like,
And I think that I don't know. I just think that Jordan Love
I think Willie
had
Gage
so many
Jr.
years.
and Nick Bolton have great games, and they're going to tear up Aaron Jones when he tries to run, and Love's going to throw 2 picks. Calling it right now.
Okay. I think that he's had so many years though. Like, what is this? His third year now? Fourth? Third?
Third year.
Third year. So he's
That
had some
makes
years to get familiar with this whole playbook.
Yeah,
He's had
but
Aaron Rodgers. I think
He hasn't looked great in the preseason. I think that's another reason why they were always afraid to get rid of Rodgers. He hasn't looked great.
predicting a Mike White game here.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll just roll with the Packers. We'll see what happens though. Eagles and Chargers. I know you're rolling with the Chargers, but
we both had the Colts, so everyone knows.
yeah, we both had Indianapolis, but I'm gonna roll with the Eagles because I've seen a lot of struggles from Herbert past couple weeks, and Eagles are gonna get that run game in this game. I feel like we're gonna have an even spread here. We're gonna have some running mixed in, and I think it's gonna be a really close game.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's close, I'm gonna have to roll with my team, and if my team wins and I didn't choose my team, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I got to go with the Chargers.
I understand that one. I mean, they're the better team.
One of my favorite quarterbacks in the league too. It's hard to go against them.
I think the Chargers are overall the better team, and I think that is a smarter pick, safer pick. But
I've taken enough gambles this year. Anyway.
I got a 2-game win streak. I got a 2-game lead.
You got a 2-game lead. You can take a chance.
We'll take a chance. Okay.
I got screwed with freaking Fields this year, picking him twice.
Yeah. You're not picking them this week?
Oh no, I've been thinking about it.
Vikings and the Ravens. I got Baltimore.
I got Baltimore too.
We got the Patriots and the Panthers. I'm rolling with the Patriots.
Same. Even though CMC is back, CMC is playing this week, but I still think that Mac Jones has been playing pretty solid, and he's going to pull it out.
Cincinnati and the Browns.
Cincinnati, 100%.
I'm running with the Bengals. Cowboys and Broncos.
Cowboys.
I can't go with the Broncos. They've been so bad. Cowboys, Buffalo, and Jacksonville. Kind of an easy one here. Got to run with the Bills. Texans and Miami. So this is where we might differ as well.
I got Texans. Tyrod Taylor's going to look like a freaking MVP candidate against this defense.
Yeah, I think the Texans could pull it out. But I'm going to roll with Miami. Tua. A big game. Having a little bit of a revenge here. Well, not revenge, but more of a comeback game because they've been so bad. It's time to get some wins. At least a win. Falcons and Saints. Do you think
this was one of my harder ones? Who have they announced as a quarterback yet? Is it Simeon or is it Hill?
I think they said if Taysom Hill is available
if he's
and
back
healthy,
from the concussion, it's his.
Yes, I think so. And I think if he is back, they win this game.
I think if Taysom Hill plays, they win. But if he doesn't, I get they still won against the Bucs.
Simeon looked good against the Bucs.
I'm gonna roll Saints no matter what.
I'm rolling with Saints no matter what as well, just because the Falcons' defense is so bad.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Matt Ryan's
so
gonna have a great
and their offensive line
is good Saints defense.
It's a good Saints defense, especially defensive line, and the Falcons' O line is so bad.
Yeah.
Eagles tore through them week 1.
That's why I wish That's why I wish we played them.
So you got the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New York Giants. You know, I don't know how many weeks I've been saying Oakland Raiders, but I've probably been saying it every week. I just thought about it the other day. I was like, oh, I forgot they're in Vegas. I feel like I've been saying Oakland, but I roll with the Raiders.
I got Giants.
You got Danny Jones. I told you
they played good against us last week. I think he's gonna have a good week.
They did. They just terrible clock management.
Oh yeah.
The game and Daniel, just terrible O-line.
Coach he wasted his timeouts.
I know. I was like, I was even because me and my brother were watching. I was like, why is he calling a timeout right now? Like you're not going to stop him from scoring. I mean, they're gonna score, but
yeah.
Niners and Cardinals.
Cardinals.
It did say that Kyler Murray and Hopkins are both questionable. But I think they play it. I'm going Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going Cardinals no matter what.
Rams and Titans is going to be the game of the week. The Sunday night.
Von Miller's supposed to play too. I got to go Rams. I think they're going to win.
I'm going Rams. I think it's too tough of a bet to go on the Titans without Derrick Henry. Their first game.
I hope Adrian Peterson has a great week. I really do.
I like Adrian Peterson.
One of my favorite players of all time. I hope he still does good.
I think he'll do okay, but I think it's hard to. I don't know how many snaps he'll get it to be. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Pittsburgh and Bears.
Who you got?
I went with the Steelers.
I got to get a win sooner or later. I'm going Fields. Fields has got to give me one here soon.
Just complaining about him, but
he's got to do it.
Yeah.
He's looking better and better each week. And he looked really good without Nagy there. I wish they'd get rid of Nagy already.
Did they just use a different coordinator last week, or was he just not there?
They had their special teams. He was out with COVID. They had their special teams coordinator play head coach, and he was way better.
Yeah, Nagy's awful. But with Nagy there, David Montgomery's going to be good, so he needs to hurry up and come off of IR. Yeah, I think they just activated him to the practice, or to where he can practice now, so he's probably got that 21-day window where he's got to be elevated, but he'll probably play next week. I need him. Actually, next week they got a bye, so I need him after that. I need my team back. It's killing me. Ridley, Saquon.
Hey, I'm on a 5-game win streak.
I was 4-1. Now I'm 5-3. I'm about to be 5-4.
Some of my trades have helped me out a lot. Grabbing Dalvin Cook, now Kelsey.
Yeah, that was your dad just wants to give you everybody, huh?
No, I gave up a lot for Dalvin Cook, and I was mad because Swift's been killing.
Because he didn't even keep half the guys he gave him. He just dumped Amari Cooper for whoever, and then.
No, he gave me a Cooper in that deal. I gave Cooper away.
Oh, yeah.
For Josh Jacobs, because I
don't know. I think that it's hilarious that I traded Miles Sanders for Sutton, and
I know
Sanders is hurt today in 3 plays or something.
I know he tried wanting Dalvin Cook back for Kelsey. I was like, no.
James Robinson is a decent back.
He wanted Dalvin Cook and Mark Andrews just for Kelsey. I was like, no, you're out of your mind. I said, how about Antonio Gibson? But he don't know who that is. Like, he don't really follow Washington, so he was like,
Antonio Gibson isn't bad, but I think James Robinson will probably end up outscoring him this year. So
yeah,
he ended up getting a decent option. All right, well, that's where I'll end the pod. If there's anything else you want to talk about, maybe.
No, anything else.
We're just gonna stop this one and flip on to NBA. And see you next time.